You know that thing they tell you about not judging a book by its cover? I'm here to bust your bubble. In children's book publishing, sorry, you are going to be judged by your cover. Your book cover will get your book off the bookshelf into your client's hands. You won't want to skip upon the cover. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Vivian Uwakwe, and I'm sharing a series of videos about my children's book publishing experience. If you want to see the video before this one, you just check on the playlist after this and you get it there. Now, I knew I wanted to publish a book that could pass the test on any bookshelf in the world, be it Barnes & Noble, be it with the Stone in the UK, wherever it is. I just wanted my book to pass the test, even on Amazon's children's book list. And I knew not to skip on the cover because of what we were taught in the 12-week author work group I went on last year, taught by April Cox. Well, you could learn more about that course on the link on your screen. Just go to www.vivianuwakwe.com/SPMS. But that's by the way. Now, I had a tortoise character already designed in different poses. And I thought during my 12-week author work group that, as far as character was done, it wasn't going to take me 12 weeks to do my book. I was probably going to do it in half the time. And I had an idea or two ideas of what I wanted on the cover. One of the tortoise falling down on his back, and one he's already fallen on. He has already had the fall, and he has a piece of shell in his hand. And I took it to the work group, and when it was critiqued, the critique came down hard, brutal. And it just boiled down to one thing. My character didn't have any appeal, and it had to be on the book cover. So I had to do my research, go back to the drawing board. I had researched tortoises before, but there were specific things I really needed to go into. I don't know how many thousands of tortoise images I had to go through online, different websites. And then I enrolled myself in a domestica course by Sam Nassau. Honestly, if you are even a beginner to illustration, you want to do your designs, I suggest you check out that course. So I went through, did the first draft of the cover. And again, I thought I was done. But by the time I finished the illustrations, I thought I had to adjust the fonts a bit, and which I did. And I went to the internet as we are taught, seek a crowd and always get validation from the people who are interested in your book. And I streamlined my question. I was just like, okay, these are the different font colors. Which one would you people want for this book? Was it green, blue, or orange? And, the comments came in, and green was really winning. But two comments stood out for me, and they said nothing, absolutely nothing about the cover. They said absolutely nothing about the color of the fonts, but they went hard on the cover design. So the reactions the critiques were a mix of it being too busy, the saturation being too much, proportion of the animals and everything. A couple of things. One of those critiques was by someone I don't know, but the one that really hit me hard was April Cox, and she mentored me. So if she's saying this isn't right, I'm going to be listening. So I had to go back to the drawing board to do my cover and make certain adjustments. First was the font. Okay, there was one particular thing that April recommended. She said she recommended I speak with Praise Saflo. Praise is our group's most preferred graphic designer. Several years of experience, several books worked on. Okay, I went back to the drawing board, went back to Amazon, took a critical look of children's books that had been published over the years, the classics, probably the best-selling ones of this year and last year. Just wanted to take a look only at their covers. Went around again the same way I did the research for the tortoise. I now went to Google children's books, visited certain Illustrator sites on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever I could get my hands on, and just started noticing a lot of things. Then finally, I took a critical look at the books published by alumni of Self-Publishing Made Simple, and I also took a critical look at Praise Saflo's portfolio on book cover design, and several things jumped out to me. One, the top fold of the book, the top third of the book. If you needed your title to appear on a bookshelf, that was where the title should be. It should be bold there to capture the eye. But if you have a look at my book cover, which you will at the end of this video, it's partially to the side. So in that case, it really needs to be bold. Secondly, the color of the fonts needed to stand out, and they needed to come from probably the main characters or a neutral color, maybe a complementary color. If you know the color wheel, complementary colors are opposite each other. So something that will pop out, that just jump out at the user. That critique about my cover being too busy was absolutely true, 101%. I had to take down some things from the cover. So I did a rough, and my appointment with Praise was going to be later in the week, or about a week plus. So I waited, but I had something to present with her, and we had a meeting. And she critiqued, I had done some work, so she critiqued the work. She approved most of the things I had done, and then took it to another dimension. Advising me on the colors to use for the font, how the font should stand and everything. But the good thing is, by the time I finished, I had an absolutely perfect cover. And there were two variants of the cover. One with the main character waist up, and the other one with the main character chest up.
So at this point, I had two covers, and I went back to Facebook to get my validation for which cover was going to work best with this book. And I first, of course, posted it on my wall and spread it across a couple of groups, including my author work group. And the votes started coming in. And something funny happened. On my wall, 80% of people wanted the first cover, which is the cover with the tortoise waist up. And on the groups I had posted in, particularly my author work group, 80%, it was the inverse. 80% wanted the cover with the tortoise chest up. And decision making was now going to become a bit of a challenge. And all of a sudden, one comment jumped out at me, and that comment was made by my friend Modupe, and she said, that's the comment on your screen. My kid, she basically said her kids loved the cover, or voted unanimously for the cover with the tortoise chest up. And it got me thinking. I had to ask her to double check, how old are your kids? And she said they are teenagers. And that's interesting. So I went back to drawing board. How? Whenever I start conceptualizing a storybook, I have children that I work with. I work with their parents, I work with these kids, and the kids actually tell me when my story is interesting and when my story isn't. They help me towards conceptualizing. They don't know they do this, but with kids, their critiques are unfiltered. So I went back to these children. I hadn't gone back to them for quite a while, and I had to reach out to the parents once more. This is cover 1, this is cover 2. Ask your kids, tell them it's the tortoise story. Which cover would they want to see on that story? Now, things now became even more interesting. How? The first, there are 3 kids or 3 sets of kids among the kids I work with. So 6 children who are siblings. And in all those homes where I had two siblings deciding on the book, who had even heard the story from out on the onset, one sibling will say, I want the first cover, and the other sibling will say, I want the second cover. And the parents always had one decision. They always wanted the cover with the chest up. The other children who were like, every household I worked with, just one kid, that kid wanted the cover with the tortoise chest up. So it made decision making very easy. But there's this particular child, Zoe Chimamanda Uchoma. She's like I think she works overtime for me. Yes, I'm guilty of using child labor. So I want you to listen to what Zoe said. She did not just tell me her decision. She made a voice note and she sent it to me. So let's listen, and that will just tell you the cover I chose. Let's all listen. Wait.
Hello, Mrs. Vivi. I would like the first book cover, please. Thank you and see you. Good night. I would love it because it looks cool, but they're the same. I don't know why, but I'm choosing the first one. See you. And the book looks cool. Good. I like how the tortoise broke its shell. And see you.
So there you have it. The winner is the one with the tortoise chest up.
So I suggest you go to www.vivianuwakwe.com/book launch, and you will be the first to get a free copy of the ebook when it's launched. I can't wait. And I'm sure you can't as well, so why don't you sign up? Please leave me a review when you finally read the ebook. Reviews are very, very, very important to me. Thank you, and the next video should be out soon. And in the next video, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to discuss the character. Thank you. Bye-bye.